All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could join us here tonight. It is Friday. If you're here live, it is Friday, July 15th, 2022. But if you're here on the replay, if you missed the live stream and you're here on the replay, please do not go anywhere. This is going to have tremendous evergreen content replay value for quite some time, because tonight, this is going to be one of the most important shows I've ever done in my entire life. And that is because it directly relates to the industry I'm in and the scrutiny my industry gets and what people truly think about it. I've got two great blog postings I'm going to be going through here with you folks tonight. But as an added bonus, I've got my wonderful, beautiful, amazing lady standing by live backstage on the StreamYard. We're going to be bringing her on live to the show in just a few minutes here. But before we get to that, let me first of all make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. And it absolutely has. And let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that it is rolling smoothly, and it absolutely is. I will say, folks, I am a little bit tired because it's been a long week. My lady and I have had so much to do to take care of some things behind the scenes for business, for personal, family, and our own stuff. And it's just been a busy week, but a great week. And before I bring on my lady, the topic of this show is new research finds coaching similar to therapy. One more time, new research finds coaching similar to therapy. Stick around. We're going to get to that in just a few. But first, let me welcome back to the show my wonderful, beautiful, amazing other half, better half, my co-host, my business partner, my partner in life, babe. Welcome back to the show. Big round of applause.
Yay, I'm back. Yay. Yes, I am here, love. Thank you so much for that.
Baby, is that an authentic yay, or are you just amping it up for the show?
I am so happy. It's been a great day.
It's been a great day. It's been a phenomenal day, and that's wonderful, baby. That's absolutely wonderful. So I know we haven't done a show in several days. We've
sunflowers and sunshine.
Okay, wonderful. And the doggies are going a little crazy, but we're just going to deal with it. I know we haven't done a show together in several days, and we had planned in the past to be doing 4 to 5 shows per week, but sometimes life gets in the way. How's your week been going so far, baby? What's been going on with you this week?
Life has been hectic. It's been really draining this week. I've been getting a lot of work done. I've been looking for a lot of stuff, doing a lot of stuff online, talking to a lot of people, and just getting my life organized. Hey, boys, simmer down.
Yeah.
He's looking at you now.
Oh, he's watching me on the TV, on your big ass TV. Yeah, I get it. Go ahead, baby.
So yeah, no, I've just been working hard, getting life situated this week, trying to get organized, trying to get all my family stuff. My aunt is here visiting from out of state. And I haven't seen her in 18 years, and I've just tried to get a lot of visiting in, because I don't know if I'm going to see her much more, in the future. So I'm just trying to be a diligent niece and get all the visiting time and I can. So it's been a very busy week, and it's been a blessing. It really has, to have this time with her and my mother, and to actually get to spend that time with you and my mother and my aunt today was wonderful.
Yeah.
Share that side of my family with you. Like that was really important because I never thought that you would get to meet that side of the family. I knew you were going to meet the other side because they're all out here in California, but I never knew if you were going to meet the other side.
Yeah, you know what,
So,
baby? I did get a chance to meet your aunt earlier today. What people don't realize is that we've been just really going hard in the paint personally and professionally. I actually picked you up at your place, and you're about an hour and 15 minutes south of where I live. And I came and I picked you up. Then we drove another hour and a half to meet your
oh, it
mother
was
and
a
her sister,
beautiful
which is your aunt.
drive.
Yeah, it was a beautiful drive because Google took us a different way than the main route, and it was actually a pretty cool. Yeah, it was a pretty cool little detour. It wasn't even a detour; it was actually a faster way to get there through the back roads. And I mean, these back roads were straight, and yeah, the speed limit was 55, but people just haul ass down those back roads, and we got
Great, some
what's
scenery, the palm trees, like all the agriculture out there. Just the scenery was beautiful that we got to
yeah.
see.
Yeah, the palm trees we saw. I mean, this is practically like the desert almost. When like we're in the Central Valley area, the agricultural capital practically of the world, at least here in California. But the Central Valley area of California, produces a ton of the produce, not only for California but the entire country. And so it was just interesting to see palm trees that were nice and green and ripe looking, baby. I mean, it's like it's not the typical environment you would see palm trees, but because they have irrigation systems out there for the fields and the crops and all that, I guess those palm trees are getting enough water, huh?
No, we
Baby,
were
I can't.
talking about that. No, we were talking about that with all of the aqueducts that we have going through Central California there. That's probably where they're getting all the water from.
Yeah, and the irrigation also, from the fields,
The
um, you know,
reservoirs and everywhere.
Yeah. So it was just a beautiful drive. Baby, before we get to the beginning of this show here and the first of two blogs we're going to be going over, do you remember a singer, an artist named Babyface?
Oh gosh, yes, of course,
You, you know,
Babyface.
you know what, baby? When you were talking about, when you're going to be able to see your aunt again, you reminded me of that Babyface song. When can I see you again? When can my heart beat again? When can I see you again? When can I breathe once again? And when can I see you again? Boom, boom, boom. I think I
Well,
butchered it, but you remember that song,
you
right,
know,
baby?
yeah, she's the last. I mean, I have two cousins that are her sons, which I really do not want to speak about because I have no respect for them. But my
Mm-hmm.
aunt is the last person I have respect for in that family.
Mm-hmm.
And I have so many emotions for her.
Yeah.
What my cousins are doing is asinine and disgusting.
Well, they
What
want
I've
her money.
heard.
They want her money,
Well, yeah,
huh?
I told you. I literally told you I cannot go out there because I will catch a case. I
Okay.
will go
Well,
to jail.
well, baby. Uh, I get it. I get it. I know you love your family, and I know when you hear stories like family members, just waiting
When
for
my
a family.
cousin is putting my 68-year-old aunt up on the wall by her neck,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't think I'm
Yeah.
going to be doing welfare checks on them?
Yeah, no, but like I was going to say, baby, before you jumped on it, because you get very excited when we talk about certain things. It's really sad to me when family members, especially the the kids of. Excuse me a second, I got to clear my throat. I'm sorry, I took my Flonase right before I went live, and it's all coming down. My apologies. One of the worst allergy seasons. I keep saying it. One of the worst allergy seasons we've seen. But when the kids of a mother are waiting for her to pass away to get the money. That's ridiculous. And I've been accused of that because my family has an estate. I know your family has an estate. And quite honestly, you and I are contributing to our family estates, and we're not waiting for our parents to die, or we're not trying
Oh, I
to
literally told my
deplete the
mother
estate
she's not
dry,
allowed to die for the next 40 years. I told her that. She's not allowed to die for 40 more years.
No, I get that. I get that. And I pray my mother's around for another 40 years, as well.
Oh, yeah.
She's 71, almost 72 years old. I believe your mother is 66, almost 67. So, yeah, no, people are living to be over 100 nowadays. And, your mother and my mother, they're both in really good health, and we want them to be around as much as possible. But, baby, we can talk about family for ages. Maybe we can do a separate show on that. How about we get to the first of two blogs here? Because this is actually, once again, the topic of tonight's stream is new research finds coaching similar to therapy. One more time. New research finds coaching similar to therapy. I'm going to switch over to the browser screen, baby, so it can, when the delay kicks in, what's that?
I like that beanie on you.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. It's the North Face. I have a ton of beanies that I have a ton of beanies that I got from UnderArmour.com, and I shop, their outlet, which has already discounted prices, and then I wait to get a coupon every now and then by email for an additional 40% off. So, I've got like 12 beanies I got from Under Armour. Some are North Face, some are Under Armour brands, some are other brands. And I got all 12 of those beanies probably for just over $100, $120. Which is a very, very good deal. It comes out to about $10 a beanie, and some of them normally retail for $35+ dollars. So, you got to know how to shop, folks. Yeah, and so I decided that I'm going to start wearing some beanies because I have 6 beanies open that I have used when I was doing those bedtime stories with Eli from my bedroom, the pre-recorded videos on my main channel. Some of those will be coming back soon too, but I also have another 6 beanies that are unopened, baby. So I figured I'll just start wearing them during my in-studio live streams to kind of change it up a little bit. But thank you for the compliment. Let's get to this blog here. This is a blog that my lady, you suggested this topic and this blog, and I thank you for finding it, babe, because this is something very important. I take this very seriously. This is my purpose, my passion. This is what I do for a living. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I wanted to do this so we clearly explain to people how important of a role coaching has in the modern world. And like the blog author, says in her title, new research finds coaching to be on par with therapy. One more time. New research finds coaching to be on par with therapy. This was written by Myra Altman, PhD, evidence-based care is her business. And she says, yeah, it's about a year ago, posted July 12th, 2022. I was going to get there, baby, but baby, you're like 10 steps ahead of me.
No, that's like a week ago, babe.
A week ago. Sorry, a week ago, not a year ago, a week ago. Posted July 12th, 2022. Coaching is comparable to therapy in patient relationships and outcomes. One more time, this is crucial. Coaching is comparable to therapy in patient relationships and outcomes. And from what I've seen, I've actually been scrutinized by some therapists that have reached out to me online. I knew some therapists from my professional network when I used to sell insurance, many, many years ago for a decade plus. And I think what's really happening is a lot of therapists are getting upset because there are many life coaches that are out earning them and are providing, more of what most people need. Because in my opinion, not everyone needs actual therapy from a therapist. Most people just need a pick-me-up. And I don't mean like a pill or something. I mean like motivation, right? Daily motivation, inspiration, right? Uplifting them, right? What are your thoughts about that, baby, before we get to it?
Motivation, yeah.
Yeah.
Daily motivation.
How important to you is daily motivation and inspiration, baby?
Absolutely important. I need it
Okay.
every day.
And from what you've seen that therapists do, is their primary focus on motivating, inspiring, and uplifting people, or is it just diagnosing the problem?
Well, I think that there are some that just diagnose and some that find what can uplift you. They find what you like. They give you like the hobbies and what you want to do with your life that will distract you from depression if they're
Mm-hmm.
very good.
Right.
Most of the time they just medicate you.
Right. Most of the time they prescribe medication or they're diagnosing you and they're not really uplifting you and finding ways to inspire you to better yourself, right?
No,
Which should
people
be a
just
part.
say, yeah, no, like for instance, with myself, my personal doctor just immediately diagnosed me as being depressed, put me on medication, and didn't really like delve into like what was really depressing me or what was going on with my life. She just
Yeah.
was like within one session gave me this medication thinking that's what's going to help me.
Yeah. And it has helped you a little bit, but it hasn't, resolved the underlying issue. And we could talk more about that another time or throughout this show if it pops up. So let's continue,
Yeah,
baby. Ready? Okay.
yeah.
Um, okay. Key points. Some 40% of U.S. adults reported symptoms of anxiety or depression during the pandemic, up from 10% pre-pandemic. There is a dramatic shortage of licensed therapists in the U.S. and beyond. That is true. Certified coaches trained in evidence-based mental health approaches could help fill the gap, new research suggests. And you don't even need to have training in mental health. You just need to be a good person that understands people and knows how to positively motivate people. 58% of patients with depression symptoms experience clinical recovery after at least one session with a certified coach. Let me ask you a question, babe. And again, I'm not trying to persuade you to say anything. I'm not trying to force a good review out of you, but being a part, even before you got involved with my business and started doing shows with me, when you and I first started dating, about 10 months ago, a little over 10 months ago, what did my content provide for you that doctors haven't provided in the past?
Well, at first, you provided me some clarification to what was really going on with how I was feeling with the difference between men and women. You were explaining that a lot. I was
So, baby,
understanding.
what you're saying is I explained to you masculine versus feminine energy, which is something that you had never heard explained that way before. Is that correct? Before you continue?
Well, exactly. And I was struggling with that in my life with the last two relationships primarily. And when I was listening to you, I was like, yes, this is like, yes, I get it. He is speaking like the Bible talk right now to me.
Or truth, what, baby?
Truth bomb.
You were speaking truth bombs. Go ahead, baby. I just had to do that. I had to hit the button, baby. I had to hit the button.
No, it's fine, baby. But no, I that's what got me intrigued. And as we've progressed in our relationship, you and I have had differences in opinions, but I do support your purpose, and that is what drew me in.
Well, that's fantastic, baby. That's fantastic. What else, did it do for you? Did it uplift you? Did it make you feel better? Did it excite you? Did it
It
give you
did
something to look
excite me.
forward?
It absolutely excited me to look forward. Yes, no. It did excite me. It did give me motivation to look forward to like the future. And like I had a future without all this negativity behind me.
Did it make you feel like you finally found a man that truly understands the differences between men and women, masculine versus feminine energy, and understands relationship dynamics very well between men and women?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And it's, I mean, I even said to my mother today, I said, he reminds me a lot of dad. And she's like, no, no, he's not like dad. I said, Mom, let's think about it. He may not have the same personality traits, but he's hardworking, he's determined, and he takes care of his woman. And she turns around and she goes, "You're right."
And he takes care of
But
himself too. I don't
well,
forget that. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I try to take care of myself as best as
no,
possible, baby.
you do, but that was the point I was making to my mother. You
Yeah.
know, like you and my dad might not be the exact same person with the same ideas, but you do have the same morals and ethics when it comes to being in a relationship.
Okay. Well, we need to keep plowing forward, baby, because we have a
Yeah,
lot to go over, and I want to limit this to 2 hours or less so we can relax and get ready for spending the day tomorrow. We're gonna have a wonderful, wonderful day tomorrow. You're gonna be, coming out to see me,
I'm
and
a little sad, but we'll talk about that later.
yeah, you're sad because our event got canceled. And we don't have to mention exactly what event it is, but yeah, things happen. And trust me, baby, I've got many, many other things up my sleeve. So stick around for that. Like, all right, let's continue. I can't even talk. I'm losing it here. People are weary. They're burned out and stressed from 2 years of a global pandemic, plus a growing list of stressors like a continuous political climate, race-based and gun violence, extreme weather, rising inflation, a stumbling stock market, and war in Ukraine. This is a very, very recent blog as of the day this is done
True.
live. Truth bombs. Truth bombs. Yeah.
Take me to church,
Bra-
girl. Take me to church.
yeah. Brazen behaviors on the rise and mental health statistics are sobering. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, about 40% of U.S. adults reported symptoms of anxiety or depression during the pandemic, up from roughly 10% pre-pandemic. And these are people that have not been clinically diagnosed with depression or anxiety and or anxiety. These are people that anybody can get, periods of anxiety and or depression. And this is what was happening to a lot of people during the pandemic. Well, hold your thought until I read the second paragraph, baby. We got to keep moving forward. What's more, we're now learning that the COVID-19 virus itself may contribute to mental health problems. Survivors have a 35% higher risk of developing an anxiety disorder and 39% higher risk for depressive disorder in the year following infection. It is clear that people need mental health support, and even the federal government is starting to heed the call. Efforts to support the growing mental health care needs of Americans are increasingly making bipartisan headway. So real quick here, baby. The pandemic was a pretty stressful time. And everybody handled it differently. For me, to be honest with you, I protected myself as best as possible, but I still lived my life in the same ways that I was living it pre-pandemic days. And now we've pretty much worked through it. We don't have to wear masks. You and I are both vaccinated. I'm vaccinated plus boosted. And I've had absolutely no issues, and life goes on. What are your thoughts about these two paragraphs before we continue?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with my weight loss and the stress. Like, that changed my whole world while I was working. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if we were going to get shut down. I didn't know if I was not going to have a job. There was a lot of stress and anxiety during that time. And, you know, it was just really scary. And it did influence my anxiety. I've never felt so much anxiety over since over the last 2.5 years.
Yeah, it really affected a lot of people. Didn't really affect me because I've just learned to become stronger in life. I've just learned to roll with the punches and
Yeah.
just move forward.
It,
Yeah.
it was just, it was one of those really big eye openers. I mean, I know we lived in the era of the, what was it, the bird flu or whatever, where people were wearing all the masks back in the day, but it really didn't affect us over here in the United States. And but when this came over here, it got scary. It really did. It got scary. And a lot of people did die from this. And thank God you and I both and our families were not affected by
No,
this horrible, horrible disease.
I hear you. I
Because
hear you, baby.
I knew there were a lot of people that were, but I am so thankful that you and I and our families were not affected.
Yeah, me
Let's
too.
move on.
Let's move on. Yeah. But what does support mean? To most people, mental health care means therapy. It is a tried and tested approach to improving mental health outcomes with decades of research behind it. As a practicing licensed clinical therapist, I am obviously in support of therapy. As the leader of the clinical strategy and research team at a company that provides mental health benefits, we quickly and eagerly connect our members who have clinical level mental health needs to licensed therapists who can help. And that's the right thing to do. Like there's a time and a place to refer people to a life coach, and then there's a time and a place to refer them to a licensed, therapist, that has clinical level mental health experience and is licensed to do that. Let me continue here, and then I'll have you respond. That will never change, but therapy simply cannot reach everyone who needs support. There is a dramatic shortage of licensed therapists in the U.S. and beyond, and that problem is not solvable overnight. That shortage means new clients spend time on waiting lists, not getting care. Even those therapists who are accepting new patients are typically not in network with health insurance companies whose reimbursement rates are too low to make them viable for therapists to join. That means if a therapist costs $400, your insurance may pay $100, but you have to pay $300 out of pocket per session. That doesn't make the option viable. That's a very good point. All these problems make therapy out of financial reach for most people. So we propose expanding the pool of providers who can support people in need. What are your thoughts so far, baby, before we go to the next part here? Because the next part is involving the role of coaching.
Ding, 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 ding. That hits it on the nail right there. This, I think in the last 2 decades with healthcare, it's made it so difficult for people to get this help. It's not covered under normal health insurance. It's like,
Hold on, baby. Typically it is, but there's a higher copay, or the maximum, payout per session or payout per year. Okay, so there's a limit that doesn't cover most of the cost. But go ahead.
yeah, that's what I'm kind of saying is yeah, you have your health insurance that covers your doctor, your primary, and any referrals. But then there are doctors that they don't consider real doctors, like chiropractors.
They are doctors,
Sometimes,
baby. Chiropractors
I
are
know
technically
that,
doctors. Yeah.
sweetheart, I know that, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they don't refer them out as something that can help you. So you won't get that referral from your PCP. So
Yeah,
you won't get
PCP,
that
folks,
coverage.
in case you don't know, it's primary care physician. Go ahead, baby.
Yes. So sometimes you won't get that referral. And you have to have really, really good insurance that just covers all of these at that time. So that's what I'm saying. Like right now, mine is covering everything. I can get whoever I want and I don't need a referral. But there are
Right.
some insurances out there that you need to go to your PCP and have them refer you out to everybody.
Okay. No, I got it, baby. It's great information, but I really want to focus more on the coaching aspect. I know we focused a lot on the mental health, clinicians, therapists and stuff. But are you ready to move into the actual part here? Because we're going to get into the role of coaching now. And this is through the words of a psychologist, a lady with a psychology degree. Ready for that? Baby, I can't hear
Yeah,
you.
let's go. Yeah,
Okay,
let's go.
the role of coaching. Coaching could be one possible alternative. Many people need support with their mental health, but their symptoms don't require clinical level care. Let me repeat that one more time for any person that's questioned my qualifications in this unregulated industry. Okay, or anyone else that does this, right? That does coaching. Many people need support with their mental health, but their symptoms don't require clinical level care. Certified coaches trained in evidence-based mental health approaches can help fill the gap. And even if you're not certified, like certified life coaches, certification programs are bogus pretty much for life coaching, because typically any company that certifies you is trying to hire you as a life coach for their company, and then you split the profit 50-50, and then you coach people according to their training methods, not your personal experiences. And then there are some standalone, coaching programs or certification programs. But what's that really going to do? I mean, a certification, becoming a certified life coach, in my opinion, doesn't give you any further credibility than just coming out and being a life coach. It's, how you speak, how you help people, it's the information you provide, how much you uplift people. It's about how you make people feel. What are your thoughts about that, babe, before we continue? All right, baby, I can't hear you.
I think, sweetheart, I'm right here.
Go ahead.
No, I completely agree with that. I mean, that's why we're out here. Sometimes you don't need clinical help. Sometimes you just need somebody who's gone down that same path as you, and you just need their advice,
Someone you
you
can
know?
relate to, right? Someone you can relate to with similar experiences, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's not a clinical thing. You're not totally broken. You just are looking for a way to get out of the broken road you're on.
Well,
And
you
and if somebody's already been down that broken road,
maybe you're
if
stuck in a
somebody's
rut.
already been down that, okay. All right, go
All right,
on.
hold on, baby. Let me just say one thing here. This is the one thing that I really want to help you with is sometimes when you're doing shows like this or communicating, the host will pop in and just throw something in, and you'll say, yeah, and continue, right? We got to learn to better flow on the fly. It's not always going to be about one person constantly talking and then the other person. Sometimes we may get in there at the same time and just feel the groove, right? So it's with no disrespect, not trying to cut you off, just trying to add more value to what you're saying there. But let's continue here. Evidence shows that Subclinical providers can be effective in treating depression and other mental health challenges. Some of the most respected concepts in clinical therapy, like cognitive behavior therapy and acceptance and commitment therapy, can be applied by paraprofessionals to a great effect. So, maybe, life coaches that may have a certification, I'm sure you can get mental health training and stuff like that and get certified. I haven't really looked into it because that's not something I'm really interested in doing. And quite frankly, I honestly feel what the blog author is saying here should be done by therapists, right? I think the reason why therapists are I think the reason why this lady's trying to dish this off to life coaches is because, this is a pretty simple concept and may only require one session to fix. And, I think therapists are more so looking for long-term clients, not only so they can help them, but so they can have consistent revenue coming in. What are your thoughts about that, baby, before we continue?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Anything else you want to add to that?
Nope.
Okay, let's continue. In contrast to the body of evidence supporting clinical therapy for better mental health, coaching is a newer modality with less research behind it, but that's changing. Recent research conducted by the company Modern Health, of which I am a VIP, led by research scientist Dr. Sarah Sagui Henson, shows promising evidence in support of coaching. In a peer-reviewed study just accepted for publication at the Journal of Technology and Behavioral Science, 58% of people who started care with symptoms of depression experienced clinical recovery after at least one session with a certified coach and saw a 76% increase in their well-being overall. These findings build upon our previous published research showing the more sessions people participated in, the more their well-being improved. Well, here's the thing. What are they being certified in? Are they being certified as a mental health professional? Are they going to school for that? Or, baby, I'm hearing feedback.
Oh, I don't know what you're hearing.
I was just hearing some feedback for a second. I hear it again. I think you have a fan on in there. Okay, I'm adding you back in. I don't know if you have a fan on and it's pointing at your phone, but I was beginning to hear some really, really loud noise in the background.
I have the purifier on.
Okay, maybe that was actually close enough to hit your phone. Okay, I don't hear it now. Okay, so give me a second here. So here's my thoughts regarding what was mentioned here. Where are these people getting their certifications? Because if they're just being certified as a life coach to work for a company that sells life coaching services and they're looking to hire people that want to be a life coach, so they certify them through their program. And then, these people coach according to the certification they receive from that company. But are they actually getting mental health training? Are they getting a mental health, certification where they can go and get a mental health license, right? There's no clarity here because that is, in my opinion, and hold on a sec, hold on before I turn it back to you. In my opinion, and from what I've seen in research after doing this for over 5 years, this is not a part of coaching. Getting a mental health certification is not a part of life coaching. But go ahead, baby.
I was just going to say that there are a lot of things that are online to get your life coaching degree in 6 to 8 weeks. I've seen it on Facebook, on Instagram, just everywhere. And I don't know if that's what they're talking about. And I don't know what's involved with that. As far as what kind of degrees you're getting or what you're learning from that. But I think that's I think that's what they're talking about, your life coaching degree.
There is no, okay, let me make it very, very clear. As was stated at the beginning of this very recent blog that was written, a few weeks ago, it is an unregulated industry. An unregulated industry does not require you any formal education, degree, or anything, right? Now, what this lady is saying here is we need life coaches to fill in the gaps because there aren't as many licensed therapists out there. There's a shortage of us, right? So,
Yeah.
so she's saying that these coaches are now going out there and getting certified in mental health. And if you're getting certified in mental health, you're not a life coach, you're a mental health professional expert, right? A life coach does not need to have any type of certification to be a life coach. So I have to disagree. I really think that this lady that's doing this blog is fairly new in her industry and is probably going to learn a lot. I should probably reach out to her and comment on this because what she's putting out here doesn't sound like something most life coaches do. It's not what we do. But go ahead, baby.
All right. First, I'm going to say hello, Simmer Down. Thank you for the shout out. I appreciate you being here. And as far as a therapist versus a life coach, a therapist is really there to listen and guide. A life coach, while I've been with you as being a life coach, we are giving our examples from our life to help people. That is what I think is the difference. When I go into a therapist, I am able to release and talk, and then they help that way. When I'm listening to a life coach, they're giving me their advice based on
personal
their own
experience.
experience.
Right.
And I'm tuning in based on the topic of the show. So
Now, baby.
that's the difference in my mind.
Now, baby, like simmer down. Welcome to the show, Simmer Down. Co-host, I agree with you on the need for finding the right person relating to the individual offering help is so imperative. You build a relationship of trust, which is so important. Hey, Eli and co-host. Hey, Simmer Down. And Simmer Down furthermore says, life experience is so important. Some just leave school and have nothing under their belt. That is a very good point. That is the absolute most important point here. And baby, truth bombs! Truth bombs! One more time, baby. That was a what?
Truth bomb.
Now, baby, let me ask you this. Okay? When you are seeking help to resolve something that you've been going through, would you more so better understand technical terms or someone, sharing their experiences regarding the same thing and how they overcame it? What would resonate with you more? What would interest you more? What do you think would help you more?
Ooh, that's a bad question to ask me.
Why is that?
Because I'm scientific. I'm a nurse, and I would probably go therapy, and I would like to hear the physiological reason as to why I'm going through this.
Yeah, okay. I can understand that because you are a nurse and I believe you have a degree in science. I can understand that. That's the problem with many people is they get a degree and they learn, how to do things based from a book, but they don't incorporate their life experience into it. And that's what a life coach does. Most therapists do not incorporate life experiences.
Okay, my dad's an engineer. I got a
Okay.
degree in science. This is what I've been raised around. We deal in logic and science. And so I need to figure out what's going on scientifically with me. It's a chemical imbalance that's happening.
Okay.
So I got to figure that out. But yeah, no, I mean, I get what you're saying. I totally understand.
Real quick before we continue, baby, and I understand where you're coming from as well. I honestly think that, and this is just, you've been very transparent about what you've been through. You've shared your life story. You've shared a lot out here on Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams, and you are actually getting help, from a therapist, and you just changed your primary care physician to a better one, and you're in progress of setting up appointments. So I think for you, a little bit of both routes. You've learned a lot from following my content and other coaches. And now you're working with me to help other people. But the missing gaps, some things that may involve science, when you're looking at, very deeply rooted and deeply scarred mental and emotional and depressing type of issues, I feel a therapist would be the right person to go to. And that also requires prescribing medication, which a life coach can't do. So does that make sense? I mean, for some
Yeah,
people, it's one or the other, and other people, it's a combination of both, right?
and yes, I agree with you. And and like Simmer Down says, like you have to pick the person that you trust to talk to. And I trust you, but the problem is that I do not want to be doing this 24/7. I want to have a relationship with you. I don't want you to be my therapist
I'm
all the
not your
time.
therapist. Number one, I am
I
not a
know,
therapist. Hold on. I know you're joking, but I got to make this clear for
no,
YouTube. Hold on. I got to make this clear for YouTube. Number one, I am not her therapist. I am not a therapist, period. And I know she didn't mean it in that way, but I wanted to clear it up. And number two, baby, I understand that we have a relationship and things are great between us. And, you've come a
they
long
are
way.
great.
You've come a long way. And I honestly feel that, like
And
you're
that's what I'm
90%.
saying. Can I finish, please?
I wasn't, hold on,
Please.
baby. Stop. Okay, but baby, listen to me.
No, I
I
wasn't
wasn't,
finished.
okay, sweetheart. I was in the middle of responding to something you said, and you didn't let me finish before cutting in. So we really need to do a better job of not cutting each other
No,
off.
I was talking and you cut me off.
Okay, baby, whatever. We can keep on doing this live on the air and have people bash us for, not being able to smoothly go back and forth. But go ahead. It's fine. If you're going to do that, I'll call you out live on the air too. But go ahead. It's okay.
No, it's fine. Go on.
No. Finish what you were going to say because you had something to say. I'd like to hear it.
No, I'm done.
Okay. That's all it took is for me to call you out to realize what happened. That's fine. In that same study conducted during the pandemic, we looked at the therapeutic alliance or the working relationship between the provider and the client in a one-on-one care setting. A client and provider's therapeutic alliance includes qualities like trust and personal affection, whether the relationship is collaborative, and whether the two feel they are working on agreed upon goals. Prior research
Thank you,
suggested.
Samantha. I agree with you. Thank you.
Okay, Simmer Down says, I was going to say, as a professional nurse, the co-host would be more scientific based. She would probably apply biology and facts to her methods first. Well, yeah, and that's exactly what she said, and I understand where she's coming from. And that is the different approach that psychologists, nurses, all a part of the medical field, they're all based on science, right? that's the approach they take. And life coaches take the approach of personal experience, learning things through failure and overcoming those failures, and then teaching people how to identify those failures and learning how to handle them better much quicker than we did. So you don't continue failing at the same thing and you become successful.
You understand that it also comes from chemical imbalances with depression. When people go into a depressive state, their body, their chemistry goes off. Their
I agree with you.
dopamine, their serotonin, all of that goes off.
Okay, I agree with you, sweetheart. I agree with you. I feel I'm not knocking nurses, doctors, psychologists. I'm saying there's a time and a place for one or the other or a combination of both. And even what the blog author is saying here is that there are certain things that a life coach can handle better than a therapist, or at least, not waste a therapist's time with something so minor that a life coach in an unregulated industry can handle. So that way the therapist can handle the more severe case. But hold, baby, I'm losing. Okay. Baby, listen, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm in the middle of a thought and I'm not done with my thought. And then you cut me off and I lose my train of thought. And then you blame me for doing the same thing to you. So now I forgot what I was going to say. I'm just saying, hey, I get it. This is a very, very emotional topic for the both of us because you're a nurse, I'm a life coach, and it's almost kind of like we're having a boxing match on who's better. And to be honest with you, I'm not trying to argue you saying that I'm any better than you, and I don't think you're trying to argue that your field is any better than mine or you're better than me, but that's how it's coming up. I just want to have a discussion, and I want to talk about the differences, the similarities, and what options people have. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I'm going to just mute it and let you talk.
Simmer Down says, I think a life coach should work hand in hand with psychologists. They can help implement the client, stay the course. Yes, Eli. Well, Simmer Down, Coach Corey Wayne, someone that I have a lot of respect for, has mentioned many times in his past videos that he actually coaches many therapists because a lot of therapists don't know how to properly advise people when it comes to dating issues. Okay? If you don't have experience in the dating world, like many of us life coaches do, no psychology degree is going to automatically give you the answer on how to help people that are struggling finding that special someone. Okay? So right then and there, science really doesn't do shit. It's about personal experience and going through the school of hard knocks and getting dumped and being taken advantage of and having your money sucked dry in your younger days because you thought that woman was going to be your life partner and she was just using you. Until you figure that out, there's no degree or science that can teach you how to do that. And this is where I'm really passionate because this is where I come in with my personal experience. And I've been through so much. I can really help people by teaching them how to prevent themselves, from failing as often as I did before I reached success. Any thoughts on that, baby?
I'm sorry, I had to take you off mute. No, no opinion here.
Okay. Prior research suggests that a strong therapeutic alliance yields better outcomes in therapy, but the field has little insight into whether the therapeutic alliance would be as strong or as important a predictor of positive outcomes in coaching as it would be in therapy. This research found that in a one-on-one virtual care setting, the therapeutic alliance was just as strong between clients and their coaches as it was between clients and their therapists, with an average 4.8 therapeutic alliance rating out of 5 for both coaching and therapy. 90% of participants were confident in their coach or therapist's ability to help them and work on agreed upon goals. And in both cases, a stronger therapeutic alliance predicted greater improvement in well being. And the reason is because with YouTube and social media nowadays, people can do what I do. We can put out videos where people can watch what we do for free and watch and listen to the stories we share and how we help people for free. And then they can decide if they want to work with us or not, or if we're the right fit for them or not. Like I was telling you, baby, privately the other day, when you first made me aware of this article, there aren't as many therapists with YouTube channels. I mean, I'm sure many of them have YouTube channels, but most of them don't put anything out there besides an intro video. Now, there are some that post regular content, and those are the ones that are successful because they're allowing people to get to know who they are. And see, as a therapist, if you take your business to the internet, you don't only limit yourself to your local geographic area. You can help people globally, or at least in the country you're in with your license. What are your thoughts about that, baby? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Baby, listen. I mean, you can't sit here and not have an opinion and be upset because I'm challenging your opinions. That's part of the show. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude to you. What's that?
I'm not.
Okay, then what are your opinions about what I just said? Because I know you have an opinion.
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I don't.
Okay, because you're hurt? Because I hurt your fifis? Is that what it is? Is this how we're going to go down here live on... What's that?
Buster just unmuted my TV. No, I don't have an opinion on that. I really don't.
So you really don't have an opinion on that. Okay. So you're okay then. All right, let's continue. All right. It could also be easier for the field to increase the supply of coaches versus therapists whose credentials require years of training. I'm hearing a lot of background noise, babe. Again, whether it's your fan or whether it's your humidor or whatever you have there, not humidor, humidifier, or whatever it is. There we go. And it may be more feasible for coaches to focus on early intervention by preventing clinical level symptoms for developing, leaving therapists to treat those with more severe symptoms. Coaching is also appealing when considering individual care preferences. Not everyone wants to see a therapist, even if one is available. Coaching can be a less stigmatized form of care. Well, and that's part of the issue there is that, you know, most people hate admitting that they're going to see a therapist because they feel people are going to think like they're broken or something is wrong. And the truth of the matter is there is something wrong and they're trying to get the help to fix it. There's nothing to be ashamed of regarding therapy, baby, whether it's from a psychologist or from a life coach. What are your thoughts regarding that? Is there any shame in therapy?
No, there's no shame in therapy at all.
Okay.
No, if you need help, you need to reach out and get it.
Okay.
That's the most important thing.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that?
No.
Okay, we got a few more paragraphs here. Then we're going to take our first break. I think you need a break, baby. And when we come back with the, second.
I don't know. I'm fine.
Well, we're gonna take a break because I have to use the restroom. So that's my chance to refill my coffee and use the restroom. Let's continue here. Of course, coaching is not a panacea. I don't even know what that word means. See, these are these psychology words, these big words these psychologists use in a blog that I got to look up on Google. Let's see. Panacea, a solution or remedy for all difficulties or diseases. Did you know what the word panacea meant, baby?
No, that was out of my pay scale.
Well, I think most people reading that blog would look up that word. That was a poor choice of words by the blog author, a therapist.
Yeah, that was not a nursing word. That was way, way more of a doctor word.
Yeah. Yeah. Simmer Down the chat says, yes, I agree. Like, very true. I remember a therapist I worked with who was married for 30 years and was clueless on dating. Yeah, most of them are. And most therapists are being coached by life coaches regarding, dating aspects and dating principles, right?
Well, can you
Pablo
blame
says,
anybody who's been married for 30 years? Like, honestly, they won't know how to date anymore. They've been married too long.
they
They're
should
like,
know how to.
yeah,
They should know how to maintain a marriage and keep their partner happy, and that would play a big part in their practice and their psychology practice. But anyway, I digress. Let's continue. Pablo says, I may like the hat you're wearing, Coach. Well, thank you, man. It's a North Face hat. I appreciate it. These are all beanies I'm going to be sporting on these live streams. So, of course, coaching is not a panacea. And in this field, we have our work cut out for us. We need to address institutional and personal stigma on an ongoing problem that presents a meaningful barrier to care for many people. We need to work to increase diversity within provider networks and to ensure individuals receive culturally centered care. We must improve access to care within communities not typically served and continue to create ideas. Look at the words that this woman's using on how to bring effective, sustainably priced mental health care to more people. It kind of sounds like to me, baby, that this woman is struggling to make it as a psychologist, or maybe she's struggling to start her own practice. And I don't know. I'll be honest. The way she's writing here, I think she's overdoing things. She's not even writing with words that people can understand. So how are you going to get business when people don't understand what you're even saying? Does that make sense? What are your thoughts? What do you think is going on here? What do you think is going on here, babe? I cannot. You're muted.
I'm sorry. Ideate is a normal word. I I I know that word, but that first word, yes, I agree with that. But ideate, yeah, I've heard that several times. I don't think she's overcompensating. I do think that first word was an over medical term. She could have dumbed that down a little bit.
Yeah.
She didn't have to be so medical with that word. But yeah, no, I've heard ideate all the time.
I've never heard ideate before in anything written or spoken
Well,
by
I've been
anyone.
in the medical. Well, baby, I've been in the hospital.
Okay, I understand that, but who are you? Who is she catering this article to? Is she catering this
Well,
to the general public, or is she catering this to medical professionals that understand this terminology?
sweetheart, when you write a medical journal, you're writing it in your you're writing it to both.
Uh-huh.
It's really
Okay.
about catering to both aspects.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's continue here. Let's see. In addition to digital tools like meditations and courses and alternative modalities like online group care sessions, plus clinical therapy, psychiatry, and medication management for those who need it, I argue that coaching by vetted, certified providers is a great and increasingly research-backed way to serve people with moderate mental health care needs. I understand that. Those people are called mental health care workers. They don't have a psychology degree. I believe they have what's called a mental health, degree, and that allows you to get a mental health provider license. Is that correct, baby? From what you're aware, from what you
Yes.
know. Okay, so
From what I
this
know,
and we're going to do more research, but look, I know everything about life coaching. And what this lady is saying here is not considered life coaching. Life coaching does not require you to have a mental health, degree and a mental health license.
No,
Okay. And you're not
no,
giving,
but what
go ahead.
she's focusing on life coaching mentally, like people with mental health issues. That's what she's focusing on that part.
Yeah, but she's saying, I argue that coaching by vetted, certified providers is a great and increasingly research-based way to serve people with moderate mental health care needs. Here's the thing, okay? A life coach does not have any type, typically is not going to have a certification, or not. They're not even required to have a degree. Coach Corey Wayne is not a certified life coach. Yes, he's done programs like I have. Coach Corey Wayne and I and other coaches, we've actually done a lot of personal development programs. Like I've been to Tony Robbins and many other people's live events in person. I've read many personal development books. I've followed many other coaches. That's where my experience comes from, and that's what qualifies me to be a life coach in an unregulated industry. Okay, here, what this lady is saying is that, these life coaches, there are life coaches out there that you can go and get similar help, the mental health type of help, and they're certified and they have these licenses. And that is not true. Most life coaches do not do what she just mentioned here. I'm just telling you. I know many life coaches on YouTube, they don't do this, right? So they're called mental health workers, which those are the people that are the step before psychiatrists, right? Life coaches are technically below the pay grade. Well, we make our own money based on, selling our coaching packages, but it goes life coaching, then you can go to mental health care, provider or worker, and then after that, psychiatrist. But mental health workers are not life coaches. Technically, they can be. Anyone can add life coaching as a designation if they want to add that on top of what they're doing. Psychiatrists can be life coaches too. Okay? But this is what she's saying here is not what the typical life coach does. Does that make sense, babe? Or what are your thoughts before we take a break?
Yeah, I don't think she's just talking about YouTube life coaches. I'm thinking she's talking about life coaches in general, all of them, where they actually go to, places and do speeches, or they actually are on TV or whatever, like she's going the whole route. She's not just talking about YouTubers.
Anyone can add the designation of life coach on top of what they're doing. It's an unregulated industry, but the basic aspects of a life coach do not involve getting certified as a mental health professional and having a mental health
No,
professional license. That is not typical life coaching. It is not.
no, but I don't think that's what she says.
Okay, well, we're going to
I
have to
think
agree to disagree. Go ahead.
what she's saying is that she's saying that coaching could provide a way to provide people with moderate mental health needs. Like that means not like schizophrenia, not
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's super like bad, but moderate depression, moderate stuff that normal people go through. That a life coach can say, you know what, I went through that a couple years ago, and this is how I got through it.
Mm-hmm.
I think
That's fine.
that's what she was kind of saying.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And that's your opinion, and I have mine. And I honestly think, despite a few little spats that are normal between a happy and healthy couple like us, I think we had a great first round, baby. Great first round, but
I
you know
love
what, baby?
you.
You know what, baby? Round one is over,
Yawn,
baby.
yawn, son. I love you.
You love that, don't you? Look, folks, this woman and I
Oh,
love each other, and we are so raw and real, and we have our moments, and we share our moments with you live on the fly here on the air. No other couple is doing that. This is where we bring you our real true value. Baby, you ready to head
I love
backstage?
this
And
man more than I can even like tell all of you. Like
what's that?
he literally is my soulmate. I said I love this man more than I can tell this whole audience. You are my soulmate. And I will argue you and I will interrupt you, but I do it with respect and love. I just, you know, two
Yeah.
peas in a pod, baby. Two peas in a pod. Soulmates
Yeah,
till the end.
we keep over talking each other because we like to finish each other's sentences, and we'll figure it out along the way. But you know what? Great first half, baby. We are at 1 hour and 10 minutes. We're probably going to go a little overtime, probably till about 9:30 or so, because we want to get through the next blog. The next one's even better than this one. I mean, the one you sent me was great that we just did. It gave me the idea to do the show, but wait until you hear this next one. It's better. So you ready to go backstage, take a little break?
I would love that.
All right,
I'm gonna take
baby.
the doggies outside.
All right, baby. I'm putting you backstage. I'll see you in just in a little bit, okay? All right, here we go. All right, so my lady is backstage. She is backstage. All right, music is all queued up. We're going to step away for a quick 8 or 9 minute break. And when we return, you're not going to want to miss this. We're going to get to the next blog, which is titled Inside the Wild, Unregulated World of Life Coaching. One more time. We're going to get to the next blog, Inside the Wild, Unregulated World of Life Coaching. And you're not going to want to miss this because this was written last year, about maybe 8 months ago or so, on October 6, 2021. Very, very, very good blog. So stick around for that. Stick around! Stick around! Stick around! Round. We'll be right up again. I'm gonna have to fix it. Oh, my favorite song is coming up. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Rip it, Ethan, rip it, baby. Ethan Mixel and double helix from the YouTube audio library. Yeah, baby, feel it, energy up. Get that energy up. I want you all to raise your hands as high as they can go and get that energy up. Get that energy up. Get that energy up. Get that energy up. Feel it. Feel good. Feel good deep inside. That's what it's all about. It starts within you and feeling good within yourself. And when you feel good within yourself, nothing bothers you. Nothing bothers you. You radiate positivity and you attract positivity back to you. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with OBS. There's a glitch where when I come back from the break and turn on my camera, it like removes my chat and then I have to reset it. That is strange. I have to do that on the browser screen as well. But anyway, let's continue moving forward. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Live here on YouTube, live on Coach Eli 2, uncensored live streams, the future home of most, if not all, of my live streams. This channel is creeping closer and closer and closer to being monetized each and every day. It should happen over the next few weeks or less. Once that happens, I'm going to be moving my Walking with Purpose live streams to this channel here. And then on my main channel, I'm going to be focusing primarily on some very high quality pre-recorded content in the highest quality 4K at 60 frames per second. I'm also going to be creating some more YouTube shorts, those TikTok style type of videos. And my lady and I will also be focusing more on some exclusive members-only content. Now, also, as I have mentioned on my main channel and already converted on my main channel, which is monetized and has been monetized for about 2.5 years now, my chats have gone to members-only chats over there. Once this channel gets monetized, these chats here will also be going to members-only chats, and for a minimum of only $2.99 per month, which breaks down to about 10 cents per day, you'll be able to chat in the chat. And the reason why my lady and I decided to do that is because we want to focus our content and the conversation with positive, like-minded people that want to share in a great conversation, learn from us, and, will allow us to uplift you so that way you can accomplish furthermore whatever it is you're trying to accomplish or whatever it is that your heart or hearts desire. So that's what's coming soon to this channel here. Also, since this channel is not monetized yet, if you would like to make a donation in any amount based on the value you feel you are receiving, you can make it through PayPal or Cash App. Nightbot's been sharing my PayPal and Cash App links every 7 minutes in the chat. On PayPal, you can go to paypal.me/Coach Eli. And on Cash App, you can go to $The Real Coach Eli. And as always, donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. I have a big itch on my nose. Excuse me a second. Oh boy. It's that itch for good luck. It's that itch for good luck. All right, let's get back to it because we have another blog to go over here, and it's not too terribly long, but not short either. We want to get through it in about 45 minutes or less. Tonight, we've been discussing new research finds coaching similar to therapy. One more time, new research finds coaching similar to therapy. If you missed the first part of the show, go back and check out the replay. We went over a blog with the title, New Research Finds Coaching to be on Par with Therapy. It was written by, it looks like, I see the picture of the therapist there. She's a young therapist, probably in her late 20s or early 30s, that probably recently got her psychology degree. She had some interesting points, but I also, shared a difference in opinion in some of her points. So it was pretty interesting. My lady also shared her thoughts, and she had a difference of opinion with myself. And it was just an interesting first part of the show. So check that out if you missed it. Now, let me go and bring my lady back onto the show. She should be hanging out backstage in the StreamYard. Baby, welcome back to the show. Are you there, baby?
Well, yes, thank you. I'm here. I've been waiting patiently.
Of course, because ladies have all the patience in the world, right, baby?
No, we don't.
Well, at least you're honest, and that's why I love you. I know you were being sarcastic, baby. I get that. I understand that. I was being sarcastic as well. But we do have a lot of love for each other, don't we, baby?
Absolutely, love.
Yeah. And I know you're getting a little tired because it's getting to the witching hour for you. So I know we need to blitz right through this because...
No, it's okay. I sent you a text, and I just want to just say blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Based on the text you sent me.
Oh, well, thank you for that, baby. I read your text loud and clear, and I will just come back and say blah, 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 blah as well. And let's continue because we have a lot of great people here that really want to learn from our content.
Way more important. Way more
All right.
important.
Yeah. All right. Let's switch on back over to the browser screen here. And I need to fix the chat. I gotta figure out what's going on with OBS, like deleting my chat after I come back from break. I'll have to figure that out. But there it goes. We are back. All right. So, and this blog is kind of formatted a little weird, so it may not be as big on your screen, babe, but you should be able to see it. If I turn off the chat for a second, you'll see it says inside the wild, unregulated world of life coaching. You're whatever you're doing right now is feeding back in. Same
I'm not
thing.
Doing anything.
Okay, there you go. It's better now. I think it's when you get closer to any. Okay, yeah, what I'm going to end up doing, baby, is getting you like a microphone and a headset, kind of like I have for my phone, and it's going to solve all of that. The sound will be a little better, but that's coming soon. No problem.
I literally see sitting here holding the phone in the same place.
Yeah, no worries.
But
no
go
worries. On. The sound issue has been fixed. All right, so this was written by Melissa Pandika. And I guess she runs a company called Put Me In, Coach. And it was written on October 6, 2021. So very recently over the last, 8 or 9 months or so. So let's get right to it. It will pop up on your screen in just a minute or so. Give me just a second here. So let's see. Perennially anxious millennials and Gen Zers have been turning to life coaches for years for things like changing jobs or navigating a fitness routine. But the pandemic, one of the greatest existential crises of our generation, seems to have led to an uptick in demand. Life coaches are having a moment. In other words, in its latest Jobs on the Rise report, LinkedIn lists professional and personal coaches as one of the 15 career categories showing the fastest year-over-year growth from April to October 2020, with hiring for these roles growing more than 51% since 2019. Well, there are a lot of companies, baby, that hire and train people that want to be life coaches. They, like I was mentioning in the first part of the show, they will train them and certify them according to their program of life coaching. And then these people become certified life coaches of that particular company and in an unregulated industry. And then they resell the packaged, what do you call it? The packaged services that company provides and coach people according to the way the company wants them to coach people. And that's why I personally do not recommend using a company that hires and certifies coaches according to their program, because those life coaches are going to be less prone to share their personal experiences. What are your thoughts about that, baby? You're muted. You gotta make sure you unmute.
Sorry, I was coughing. Give me a second.
Okay. My lady has bad allergies, just like I do. And when she takes her allergy medication, sometimes she'll have some coughs. Happens to me too. And I mute as well. Oh, man. My show would be a coffee show if I didn't mute.
Sorry, and I turned my purifier off. I apologize for that. Oh, remind me one more time what your question was.
Okay.
Trying to clear my throat there.
What I was saying, baby, is that a lot of these companies that hire people that want to be coaches will certify them according to their own company program, and then they sell packages of that company. Go ahead. So what were your thoughts about that compared to?
I completely agree with. I completely agree, and it's like a pyramid scheme almost, or a pyramid project. I don't know what those are called. But you get into that, then you've got to sell the certain packages that they want to sell.
Right. So basically, it's not necessarily a pyramid scheme. Yes, it can be looked at as one. It is basically a company that's hiring a bunch of people that probably don't have a lot of life experience and are just going to be reading a script. And basically, they probably split the coaching packages 50-50. And if you're a life coaching company and you certify 100 people, and you split the profits 50-50, that life coaching company is going to make a lot of money. And the problem with that is you're going to have a bunch of, unqualified people, in my opinion, even in this unregulated industry, because life coaching is primarily about life experiences and sharing your life experiences to help people that are struggling with things you've gone through, you failed at, and then you've turned those things around, and helping those people learn to identify those things and turn them around quicker than you did. Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm going to turn the thing on again. Hold on.
So just to make it clear, folks, again, my lady has bad allergies and she's being hit hard by those allergies right now. So I know there are going to be people out there that are going to, criticize this, but we really don't care about those people. We care about good people that understand what's going on. And she's fighting through it because she wants to be here to share her thoughts about this topic. So let's just continue here. But like celery juice, yoni eggs, and other wellness trends heavy on hype and thin on evidence, life coaching triggers my health journalist spidey sense. Life coaching triggers my health journalist spidey sense. Okay. As someone who swears by therapy, which unlike coaching has plenty of research backing its efficiency, I wonder why someone would hire a life coach who took a months-long certification course instead of a licensed therapist who's undergone years of rigorous training. I've never tried life coaching, so I'm not one to judge, but I genuinely want to know what's the appeal. Well, here's the thing. Life coaches are not typically certified. There really is no certification program unless you're going to work for another company that's going to certify you with their program, right? So the bottom line is what makes you a life coach is your personal experience. Thank you. What makes you a life coach is your personal experience. Okay. and sharing what you've been through and teaching people how to work through things you failed on and turn those things around. So that's the appeal. With therapists, they typically go to school, they get a degree, they learn a bunch of science, like we were talking in the first part of the show, and understanding the science of psychology is one thing, but having life experience in dealing with these things is more crucial. Yeah, this has been a night where we've got dogs barking, my lady's not feeling too well. But hey, it is what it is. Any thoughts you wanna mention regarding that, or should we just move forward, baby?
Shut up, guys. I still don't agree about the whole therapy thing. Like, I think therapy is very good. I think life coaching is good, and I think therapy is good.
You
I
think
think
life
they're both
coaching is good?
beneficial.
I agree.
And
I think
therapy is good.
I agree. I think they're both good and they both have
Beneficial.
their place and they're both beneficial.
Yeah.
But I think for
Yeah.
some people or the majority of people, life coaching is what they need because they really are not struggling with mental and emotional issues. If people are struggling with deep mental and emotional issues and depression and all of that, sure, you can identify it. You know, any human being can identify someone who's, you know, reacting that way and behaving that way. But, you know, a life coach really can't help someone with those aspects at the level a therapist can. A therapist can give you that mental and emotional therapy at a scientific level and also get you the proper medication to balance out, you know, what's going on. Does that make sense, baby? There's a time and a place for using a life coach or a therapist or using both.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's absolutely right. And yes, you're right. I cannot see anything on this screen. I can't even see the chat.
You can't even see the chat?
No, everything is really small. Even you.
Okay, let me see if I can actually do something here to fix this because it is rather tiny. Give me a second here.
Tiny.
We can fix this on the fly. We can fix this on the fly.
I mean,
here.
I know I'm blind as a bat, but like it literally all the words are just molding together.
Okay, hang on a second. I will have this set here in just a second, okay? I knew this was going to happen because some of these blogs are formatted in ways
in really
that
small font.
Yeah, and I think you're going to be able to see this a lot better here in just a second. All right. When you see this now, it's going to be a lot better. Hopefully, you'll be able to read it a lot.
In a minute, right?
Yeah, it's going to come up
in
there.
a minute,
all right.
Right?
Yes, I'm an OBS expert, open broadcast software expert. I can help anyone that needs help with OBS. Just go to my website, coacheli.com, and select, I'd say, probably an hour coaching session. It's going to take that long for me to explain it to you. And I've also, on my main channel, I also did an OBS tutorial a few years back. It's 5 hours long. You can search for that, and that will give you some examples there of how to use it properly. All right. Let's continue here. To pull back the curtain on the industry, I spoke with therapists, life coaches, and people who've received life coaching. Our conversations revealed that many gravitate to coaching because it focuses on concrete strategies and goals. Some say it feels safer than therapy, or at least popular understandings of therapy, which can remain cloaked in stigma. But while many life coaches mean well, the lack of education and licensing requirements needed to market yourself as a coach could lead to real harm, intentional or not. As with any industry, especially one that's largely unregulated, buyer beware. I understand that. And I've gotten that a lot from many, many people on this platform. Like, I've had many, many people come through my channel, and I've literally banned hundreds of people that were attacking life coaching and that were calling me a phony and a fraud. And this doesn't happen just to me. It happens to many coaches, right? Those are the types of people that you're not going to be able to help. And honestly, I think those are the types of people that aren't really even open to, therapy with a licensed psychologist. So the best thing to do if you're a YouTuber and you've got people like that, you just got to remove them and move forward. Life coaching is about sharing your personal experiences, sharing your struggles, your trials, your tribulations, sharing your failures and what you did to turn those failures around. Also, life coaching is about teaching people to learn to love themselves. That has nothing to do with psychology, maybe a little bit, but that has nothing to do, with what a therapist does. A therapist could do that, but they really don't. So what us life coaches primarily do is we teach people to learn to love themselves, get to a positive attitude, a positive state of mind. And that way you're going to attract positivity into your life and everything else will just fall into place. What are your thoughts about that, baby, before we continue? You see it clearer now on your screen?
Well, a little clearer, yeah. I think a lot of times people that are hesitant with getting help would be more willing to get help from a life coach versus a quote unquote therapist, because the stigma of getting therapy is a lot worse than a life coach,
Yeah.
And I think what this is trying to say is life coaching is kind of on the same platform as therapy. It can be to a certain level. But people, there are some people that just have this hard problem with getting medical help, with that mental health stigma behind that, getting any mental health help.
Yeah. I mean, it goes both ways. You have people that don't want to get the help from a therapist because they're afraid of what their peers are going to say. Oh, you have a therapist, you must be really fucked up or something like that, right? So it's that stigma on that side. On the life coaching side, it's all about what qualifies you to be a life coach. You're no life coach. You're a loser. You haven't amounted to anything in life. I mean, that's all I've heard, right? That's all. And the truth of the matter is, number one, I really don't care about what anyone thinks about me. And what's that?
Stop for a second. Because when I came out to tell not these people in town, but other people what you did, they were like, wow, that's going to be great in your life. That's going to be very positive to have somebody like that's a positive influence.
Right. But here's the thing, baby. For me, and this is what I try to teach people. I try to teach people that the only opinion of yourself that matters is your own. If you all learn to, if you all learn, including you, baby, and anyone else, if you all learn that the only opinion of yourself that matters is your own, nothing negative anyone says will bother you. And that way you can focus on the positive people that believe in you, believe in what you do, and will work with you. The people that are criticizing myself and other coaches typically, are, low life, unhappy, and so miserable that, they're not even willing to participate in their own rescue. So how can anyone help them? Life coach, therapist, friend, family member, how can anyone help anyone, babe, that is not open to participating in their own rescue?
Quite honestly, everybody on YouTube that's here is not a life coach other than you. Nobody is a life coach other than you. Everybody else is just bullshit. And I'm sorry to say that, it's just, we've got 40-year-olds that are out there just fucking doing bullshit things. We got 50-year-olds doing bullshit things. I'm just over it, like, get over yourself. You don't like us? Move on.
Well, and
That's
baby,
all
here's the
I
babe. Here's the thing. I'm speaking in general here. I understand you and I have had our past experiences on and off of YouTube regarding what people think about us, regarding what they think of our coaching business, my coaching business. And quite frankly, I've gotten to the point of where I really don't care what anyone thinks about me. And I'm trying to get you in the same mindset because what's that?
I'm not only talking about YouTube. I'm talking about my personal people here. If anybody's listening, back off. Like, just get on with your own life.
Yep,
We're going to live our life.
Here's the thing. The more you tell people to back off, the more they're not going to back off, right? Okay? The more you tell people to not do something, they're going to do it. The best thing to do when you encounter people in life that don't resonate with you, that aren't going to help you move forward, that aren't the right fit for your business, is to just move forward and just ignore and not even worry about it. And that's what I've done. I don't pay attention to anything anymore besides my content, you, my family, my friends, and a few other people I'm connected with behind the scenes that are good, positive people. Everything else, boom. Here's the thing. On Coach Eli, Elias Melas, my main channel, we pretty much, gotten rid of trolling because we've gone to members only chat. For right now, until we get this channel monetized, it's basically you need to be subscribed and you can chat. We still get a few trolls, and I just ban them and move on. Like, they get no notoriety. And if, they get off doing that, let them. I'm only sharing this because what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter what these people say or do. What matters is the people that really like us and believe in our message. Let's focus on those people. And that's what I try to share as a life coach and try to help people with, right? Focus on the people that care.
That was my point. My point is we're out here to promote positivity and do good. And all of these other people are just fucking just bottom feeders and just want to promote hate. And I don't care. Do what you gotta do.
Baby, they're not trying to even promote hate. They hate themselves. The truth of the matter is they don't love. Here's the thing. People that truly love themselves are not going to project onto other people. And that's one of the main things hold on, baby. That's one of the main things I focus on through my coaching practice, is to basically share with people, including you, that if someone comes at you and someone attacks you for no reason, don't let it get to you. Look at it as a projection and a direct reflection of how they see themselves, and say, it's stupid. I'm not even going to respond. It's not worth it. Because if you respond, all you're doing is basically feeding them what they want. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the hate. Keep moving forward. Can we move forward now?
Bye.
Who are you saying bye to? Not me, right?
Troll.
Okay, let's go. Let's back up and examine what exactly life coaching is and how it differs from therapy. Every therapist and every life coach is unique, but life coaching is more directive, structured, and goal-oriented than therapy. I agree. Tess Brigham, a San Francisco-based psychotherapist and life coach. See, here's someone that does it right. There's also another coach I follow on YouTube named Coach Craig Kenneth. He's a life coach and psychotherapist, combining the best of both worlds. And I'm telling you, he makes more money through his life coaching than being a psychotherapist. Now, the fact that he's a psychotherapist and has had dating experience and life experience will bring him more value. But the reason why he's successful is not necessarily because he has a psychology degree and he's a psychotherapist. It's the fact that he has life experience on top of that. And so Tess Brigham, a San Francisco-based psychotherapist and life coach, sometimes works with her therapy clients on specific goals, sometimes not. Therapy isn't meant to be prescriptive, she explains. Amen. Therapy isn't meant to be prescriptive, which is what therapists primarily do. They prescribe medication for anxiety, depression, etc. Right, baby? What are your thoughts about that paragraph before we move on? I think you might.
Yeah, I mean, therapy, you don't necessarily need medication. You need to know how to work through your triggers.
Uh-huh.
Not with a Band-Aid, but just get through it. So yeah, I get what she's saying there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's continue. But with my coaching clients, we have a goal that we're working towards, she tells me, whether it is habits they want to change or something they want to achieve every week. At the end of every hour or half-hour session, Brigham knows exactly what the client will be working on until the next session. She usually sends them follow-up emails with specific guidance. I'm going to give this woman a big round of applause.
Stop it.
Because, baby, before you say something here, because I want to hear what you have to say. This is a woman with a psychology degree that is doing things right. She got the degree. She understands the scientific aspect of it, but she also understands that in some, maybe many cases, it's more about her life experience. What are your thoughts, baby?
Well, it's not only that, it's about following up and pursuing. What she's doing is she's making sure her patients are getting
what they need.
Treatment that they need.
Right.
Because a lot of times we will not do what our doctors say, but she's following up. She is actually doing the job.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's continue. Go ahead.
She's an amazing person.
Right. And folks, check out Coach. She really what?
Sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
She is really taken the oath to another level. And she's doing a great job as a physician and a patient advocate.
Right.
That's just amazing. I'm just dumbfounded, because you don't see a lot of doctors like that anymore.
Yeah, baby, real quick, side note, I've shared this before, but it makes sense to share it again. When I used to do in-person networking events many years ago, when I was marketing my insurance business, when I was an insurance broker, I met this lady who was a psychologist, and she told me that, she traveled the world and gained a lot of life experience to add to her psychology degree, because she said having a psychology degree alone is not going to make you a good psychologist or therapist. Having the personal experience along with the science and, the degree they work together hand in hand. I think the problem that, we see with therapists, nowadays, and I had a therapist when I was younger, he didn't give me any advice. He didn't, say anything to me. All he did was listen to what I had to say. And he would say, well, tell me more. Tell me more. What more is there? And I'm waiting for, when am I going to get a solution to my problem, or get some advice, or get some homework or something like that, right? And I never got that. So that's the problem. Anything else you want to add to that before we move forward?
No, I just want to thank Simmer Down for her comment. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it is a combination of both, and triggers are a big part of it.
Yeah, further down, Simmer Down says follow-up is primary. Yes, co-host, she brings the credibility as a patient advocate. Yeah, no, and what it more so boils down to is the fact that she's more focused on using her personal experiences to help most people, and will only flip on the therapy and the psychology side when necessary. So this is someone that has her game airtight, her shit together, and that makes me proud. That makes me proud there. That's awesome. All right, let's continue here. In the half-hour sessions, they discuss what goals the client met over the past week, if there are any remaining hurdles, and how to proceed. That's exactly what a life coach does. We will give you goals. We'll give you a list of things to do to start to turn the issues you're struggling with around, right? And then we follow up with you, right? Unlike in therapy, coaches don't tease apart the thoughts and emotions underlying their client's progress. Well, unless you're like me, I get really into it. For me, in order for me to help someone, number one, they have to be open to the help. They have to be willing to participate in their own rescue. And if they're not, then I refer them to a psychiatrist, or I say, unfortunately, you're not the right fit for me, for us to work together, right? And typically it's because, they've got some mental and emotional issues I'm picking up on, and I cannot help them with that. And even if I wanted to help them with that, I'm not qualified to help them with that. I can identify that or assume that's what's happening, but I'll refer them
Yeah,
to a therapist at that.
you're out of my, you have to say you're out of
The
my spectrum of
Yeah,
my
out of the realm
knowledge.
of life,
So I need
out of
to
the realm,
refer you.
out of the realm of life coaching, which we were trying to say, out of the realm of life coaching, right, baby?
Yeah, and now I need to refer you over to this person. And if you have, that would be a great thing, is for us to have a few people that we know that we could refer people to, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
on the side, and say, okay, well, we can't help you any further, but so and so can.
right. Now, baby, furthermore, this is what was stated. They just need accountability and structure, says Brigham, who moved into coaching partly because she noticed many clients found therapy too open-ended. Big round of applause. There it is. Like I mentioned, baby, she noticed that within therapy, her clients found it too open-ended. Just like when I went to see a therapist when I was like 12 or 13 years old. Okay. I was, going through some stuff, and my parents had me go see a therapist. And this guy never said anything to me. All he said was, tell me more. Okay, what happened next? And what happened after that? Well, how the hell am I going to resolve my issue, and how are you earning your money when you're not even helping me? You understand what I'm saying, baby? So this woman recognized that, therapy can be too open-ended at times,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. And that is why you have to find the perfect match.
Right.
You have to vet your therapist,
Mm-hmm.
just like you vet your partner.
Right. Right. Let's continue here. They described therapists who simply echoed their observations and felt a little bit lost in the process. She says, I felt the same way when I was 12 or 13 with my therapist. Where is this going to lead me, and how long am I doing this for? Right. If you have to ask those questions to your therapist, then why are you seeing that therapist? They're not doing their job. They're not. Let's continue. As with any industry, especially one that's largely unregulated, buyer beware. I completely agree. Give me just a second here. So let's read here. 30-year-old Kristen of Miami, who'd been in and out of traditional therapy since she was a teenager, found the specificity, I can't even pronounce the word specific, of life coaching really intriguing. While she'd set some loose goals and growth milestones with some of the therapists she'd seen, certain life coaches have very specific programs like in X amount of weeks, this is the goal that you're going to achieve. She says hiring a life coach in 2018 seemed like a way to invest in herself and possibly salvage her relationship at the time. She requested Mike use only her first name because she works in a similar industry as her former life coach. Well, here's what I do, what Coach Corey Wayne does, and most coaches I follow, okay? Most good coaches will not try to sell you a pipe dream, will not try to sell you, 10 phone coaching sessions. Okay. What I do is I offer a half-hour phone coaching session for $49, a 1-hour phone coaching session for $79. Okay. I offer emergency phone coaching, which is typically same day if I'm available. You have to email me first for $179. Because that's, I drop everything for that. The other, coaching packages, happen within 7 to 14 days. We schedule them out 7 to 14 days in advance. And I will talk with the client. I will listen to what they're going through, and I will give them everything in the half hour or 1 hour that they pay for. And I will set them up with a game plan. And if they need more coaching afterwards, then I leave it up to them. What I tell people is, I'm not here to put you on a recurring program and get $50 a month from you. I'm not here to sell you a package of 10 1-hour phone coaching sessions and we do it once per week. I have a half hour and 1 hour package. What?
I can't read the last comment from Simmer Down.
Hang on a second.
It's still bleeding.
It should be showing up on your screen. Co-host or Eli, what do you think of administrating self-assessments? What does
that mean?
Well, let me explain it to you. Co-host or Eli, what do you think of administrating self-assessments? It means basically creating a program where you give your clients, or you put on your website before people pay for your services or decide to use your services, a self-assessment, of where they're at. So, Simmer Down is basically saying that would probably be a great way to get some leads. And I have thought about that. I may do that down the road. I haven't done that because, I want to create a simple process. Basically, I create my content. If people resonate with how I help people and they resonate with my stories and they need a little more hand-holding, then they can select a 30 or 60-minute phone coaching package. If everything is resolved within that 30 or 60-minute phone coaching session, then no problem. That's it. You're not on the hook for anything else. But if you need a little more time, then you can buy another half hour or hour. You buy as you need. You don't need to buy a full package. And that's, That's what I do. That's what Coach Corey Wayne does. That's what Coach Craig Kenneth does. And most decent coaches are not going to try to sell you a pipe dream and get recurring money coming out of you because, quite frankly, most situations, you're going to be able to help that person resolve that within one phone coaching session, maybe two. Does that make sense, sweetheart?
Yes. And you know what? I actually kind of like the fact that the chat is a little blurry because I can't read those stupid trolls right away before you get them away.
Okay, baby, I'm going to say this one more time. I don't want to address the trolls. I don't want you to say stupid trolls. That is really, that's exactly what they want. Okay? That's exactly what they want. So just ignore them and move on.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue here. All right. I'm scrolling up, but you'll see it there. Second paragraph for now until it scrolls up on your screen, babe. Indeed, some of Brigham's coaching clients have contacted her after their time with their therapist had reached a natural endpoint. Others are still seeing a therapist, but want to work on a specific issue that lies outside of what they're focusing on in therapy. They might be working with their therapist on processing family issues, but want Brigham's help with a more immediate problem like job or relationship dissatisfaction. Okay, so two things that are common that I talk about and people come to me for help with are relationship issues and job issues, right, baby? Like, baby, what are some of the most major issues you've had before you met me? It was finding the good man, right? And what to look for and what to not look for, right? Okay.
Yes. And job, and the other thing was family issues.
Right. Mm-hmm. Family issues, job issues, and dating relationship issues. All common things. Exactly. And that's what life coaches do. We share our personal experience in these aspects, and we share what was failing us and holding us back from having any of those things in the way we wanted to have those things, and what we did to turn it around, right? I've got you now, baby, and we're so happy. Yeah, we have our moments, but what couple doesn't? But I can say this, babe. We've been together for over 10 months. We're closing in on a year, and we've been through a lot on YouTube and off of YouTube, and we're still here. And I can say this, baby, that's a lot more than I can say for most people in our situation or having been in our situation in the past. I'm proud of you, babe. You there? You're muted.
I'm proud of us.
I am proud of us, baby. I am. Let's continue, because I look forward to our private phone call after the show. We got things to plan for the weekend and stuff. 35-year-old Joseph James from Ibiza, Spain, similarly sought life coaching for its emphasis on immediate goal setting. While James, now a life coach himself, had gone to therapy and believes it to be extremely beneficial, he explains that he preferred a forward-facing approach that was about creating changes in the here and now. While the stigma around therapy has lessened as young people talk more about it on Instagram and TikTok, a hesitation still exists. It is also why coaching sounds more approachable than therapy. The former conjures images of someone cheering you on, maybe giving you some tough love every now and then. The latter images of someone sternly nodding their head as you plumb the depths of your mother wound. Here's the thing, baby, before I get to you. Tough love is what coaching is all about. How often do I give tough love, and how have most people responded to my tough love, baby? And I'll share why after you respond.
All the time, and I got, oh my God, you give it all the time, and I got a freaking buttload of it today from my mother.
Okay. Now, I give tough love to everyone. I give tough love to
Yep.
everyone I help. I give tough love in my videos, my live streams, coaching clients, okay? People that we used to help some people for free. We no longer do that. But I've
Nope.
always given people tough love because that is the truth. That is the truth. And you need to hear the absolute truth. So that way you can learn to identify the underlying issue that's preventing you from getting ahead in that aspect you're struggling with, and that way you can turn it around. But what happens when you call people out with tough love? A lot of times, they get really triggered, and then they come back and attack you, right? And then what happens? They start projecting their insecurities onto you, and when that happens, that is someone that I say, hey, unfortunately, it's gotten to the point of where you're not willing and open to participate in your own rescue. You're not willing to own what you know is right. I helped you identify it, and you got mad because I hit a trigger of something that you came to me, to help you with initially. So I'm going to have to let you go. And my suggestion would probably be to reach out to a therapist, and that they might be able to help you, but I'm not able to help you with your situation, right? And out here on YouTube, what happens? A lot of these people, they have their own channels, and they go and they talk shit about me, and they say, oh, Eli is full of shit. Eli, oh yeah, he has good content. He has some good things to say, but he's just a piece of shit. He's not really a life coach. And it's like, people like that, they're hold on. People like that in general, I'm speaking in general. People like that are just not, they're projecting, and they're just not open to their own rescue. They're not open to participating in their own rescue. Bottom line, if you are not willing to work along with a life coach or a therapist or anyone that's trying to help you, it's never going to change. That's the bottom line. Okay, so anything else you want to add? Let's continue. Okay, there's a lot of people. I'm hearing noise in the background, baby. If you're running like the machine or something near your phone, it's gonna pick up. There's a lot of people out there for whom the idea of therapy scares them to death, and it shouldn't, but it does, because they fear what their peers are going to think. You shouldn't. Get the help you need. It'll turn your life around for the better. You'll be a much happier person. Brigham says, and while she doesn't specialize in trauma, she points out there's a school of thought that questions whether digging up tragic events is helpful for people who've experienced trauma. I do not encourage everybody who has trauma to see a life coach, she says. For those who don't want to deal with their past or can't and still need help, coaching feels safer. I wouldn't necessarily say it is safer or feels safer. I'd say it's a more viable option in most situations, unless you have mental and emotional issues, you're suicidal, you are, constantly depressed, that you do need to see a therapist, and you need to get medication for that. And a life coach can't help you with that. Okay?
I think what she's trying to say is go to a life coach first. If you can get that help there, great. If not, find the therapy that you need. The life coach, if you're going to the right one, will refer you to a therapist.
Right.
Because if you're really going to the right kind of life coach, they're going to see they can't help you. And they're going to say, hey, this is what I think you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And baby, I'm just noticing this is a very, very long blog. We're just going to go through this last section, and then I'm going to share the links of both blogs in the description, and people can read further if they'd like. Everything down below, I scroll down. It's kind of like a repeat of what we've already said. But let's continue here, and thank you for your feedback. Brigham notices some overlap between her coaching and therapy clients. Someone who hires her as a coach might be navigating imposter syndrome as much as someone who seeks therapy for anxiety. Thankfully, she's noticed the pandemic shifting perceptions of mental health struggles from a sign of brokenness to the product of circumstances beyond our control. While life coaching might purport to help clients set and achieve goals, there's not a whole lot of evidence that it actually does. According to Michelle Nealon, psychologist and president of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. Well, of course, you're going to say that when you're trying to sell, tuition packages, for your business or the school you're the president of. That I honestly feel her statement there is completely biased, baby. What do you think?
Well, of course. Of course it's biased.
Yep.
Duh. Don't make me do like a Homer Simpson. Duh.
Well, you just did it, and I'm totally cool with it because I agree with you on that.
I don't know what I feel about this. I don't know if I feel I can agree with this part of this article.
I don't either. And that's enough said. Let's just continue. That's it speaks for itself,
like I really can't speak on it. I just don't agree with it.
Thankfully, she's noticed the pandemic shifting perceptions of mental health struggles from a sign of brokenness to the product of circumstances beyond our control. I think what's happening is this lady that
I agree with the pandemic. The pandemic did break a lot of people.
Okay, I already read that. I skipped back up, and it made sense to read that again. Basically, again, this lady is the president of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, and they've probably their tuition is probably down. The amount of students that are applying and going to school there are far less because more people are considering doing the life coaching thing instead of becoming a psychologist
or online.
Or online. It could be a little cheaper. It still costs a good amount of money to do your schooling online, but it is a little bit cheaper than doing it in an actual classroom setting. In contrast, there is extensive research that demonstrates the efficacy of psychotherapy, and that research is ongoing, she tells me. There just aren't compatible studies to back up the efficacy of coaching, partially because it is still a relatively nascent field. Well, here's the thing, okay? All life coaching it's kind of like, baby, here's an example, okay? There are football coaches, there are baseball. What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just sneezed. Okay,
no worries. There are football coaches, baseball coaches. There are, sporting coaches, right? Right? A life coach is at a similar level as a professional sporting coach, right? We have a purpose of helping uplift people and sharing our experience and helping people become better people, becoming happier, more positive people. So that way they can accomplish whatever their hearts desire because they learn to love themselves. And then once they learn to love themselves, they see that the possibilities are endless, right? What are your thoughts, baby, real quick before we continue?
Oh, yeah. No, I completely agree.
Okay, anything else?
Nope.
Those who reach out to life coaches often have underlying emotional and psychological issues that are getting in the way of achieving their goals. I'm going to read that one more time because I've come across a shit ton of people like that. Those who reach out to life coaches often have underlying emotional and psychological issues that are getting in the way of achieving their goals. Nealon says, which may cause mental health problems. A life coach might try to help a client follow a more disciplined workout or wellness regimen, but the reason they're not sleeping or exercising might be because they have anxiety or depression. Yeah, if I come across someone that has anxiety or depression, I can't help them. I can't because they need to get that treated first by a psychologist and get the right medication. And once they get on the right medication, then a life coach can help you throughout the normal aspects of life that don't involve mental health issues. Right, baby? Does that make sense to you? Isn't that where a life coach and a psychologist can work hand in hand? Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, hold on.
Kind of people like that. Those who reach out to life coaches often have underlying... Baby, what's going on? And psychological... I just pulled you off the stream for a second. I mean, if your dog is getting to your remote... Well, you got to keep your remote out of the hands of... What? What happened?
My back? No,
yeah,
I
you're
just
back.
turned my tablet on. I just turned my tablet on.
Oh, okay. There's really no need to do that.
Extra watch time.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, I've got plenty of watch time. I'm not worried about the watch time, baby. We're almost there. It's not a big deal. Let's just focus on the content. This woman tries to help me out so much. That's why I love her. She goes way out of her way, moves mountains for me all the time. A psychologist, not a life coach, is qualified to treat these issues and the resulting life challenges. I agree. A psychologist is supposed to treat anxiety or depression. I have never helped people directly that have anxiety and depression. I can identify it and assume it's anxiety and or depression. And I'll say, look, this is not what I do here. This is more of what a psychologist would do. Look into your insurance and see if you can find a good psychologist in your area, and they'll be able to help you. Well, why can't you help me? Because this is out of the realm of life coaching. I'm not allowed to do this, and I'm really not. Now, I can say, I can assume that somebody has, a mental or emotional issue. The way you see people behave, anyone can kind of make their own guess or assessment, right? But I cannot clinically, legally diagnose anyone. I can assume and say, hey, you got mental issues, you got emotional issues, by people's reactions. But I am not allowed to diagnose you. I am also not allowed to prescribe medication to balance those issues, right? Are you okay? Okay, I'm putting you backstage while you cough your what do you call it? Are you back? Yeah, the what do you call it? The allergies are really... I've been in my lady's area, and I'll tell you, my allergies act up. It's pretty strong in her area. So, that just happens. And she's learning how to use the mute button. She's getting better at it. So yeah, you're backstage, babe, and you can unmute at any time. Let's continue here. Many life coaches apply behavioral regulation and other psychotherapeutic techniques in their practice, Nealon says, but without nearly as much training as therapists undergo. Okay, no, that's not what we do. Okay, there's nothing wrong with a life coach like me. Seeing someone's piss poor behavior and saying, hey, your behavior is erratic. Your behavior, is not normal. Okay. Why are people, not hanging around you? Why are you not getting a job? Why are you not getting a boyfriend or a girlfriend? It is because of the way you're behaving. I wouldn't want to be around someone like you. And that's the tough love I give, right? But that's not me giving a psychological evaluation or me, trying to diagnose someone. That's just me, seeing someone flip the fuck out in front of my face and saying, hey, the reason why you're not getting anywhere in life is because of your shitty behavior. You need to turn this around. And if they get triggered and their behavior gets worse when I call them out on that, then I know it's something out of my realm I can't help them with, and I will refer them to the psychologist. That's the way to do it. What are your thoughts about that, baby? We just have a couple more paragraphs to go before we wrap this up.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you, honey. I agree with you.
I know you're
I
struggling to
had
make it through this
nothing.
show.
Oh, no, I'm not struggling. No, I'm sorry. I just had some sneezes to get through. I do apologize for that. These damn allergies are so bad.
Yeah,
And
you
I
sound pretty
think,
stuffed up.
yeah, with the drive we did and where we went, going through all of that
It didn't help.
farmland,
It didn't help.
it didn't help.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I'm going through right now. And so yeah, I do apologize for that. I mean, it's just normal allergies, and it comes out of nowhere. I just start sneezing. I'm sorry,
Okay, well,
guys.
that's okay. Let's get through these last few sections here. To call yourself a therapist, Nielsen explains that you need to apply and be accepted into an accredited training program at a university, have supervised clinical experience, and pass a comprehensive licensing exam. A life coaching certificate, on the other hand, can be obtained very quickly, really something within a matter of weeks, and most often through online courses. She says, the International Coaching Federation approves certifications that hold students accountable to certain standards of education and experience, but many certifications aren't ICF accredited. And that ICF is just one company that says, hey, we're going to put together a life coaching program, and you get certified, regarding this program, and this is the right way to life coach people. No, listen, every life coach is unique and different based on their own life experiences, and they're going to present their material and coach in different ways. There is no true life coaching certification. People have created their own certifications because it's an unregulated industry. And you do not need a certification to be a credible life coach. And I'm not saying accredited, I'm saying a credible. Your credibility is based on how people perceive you to be, based on the content you put out on YouTube and other aspects, right? So that's my thought about that. Any thoughts on that, baby, before we get to the next one here?
Oh, no, yeah, no, you're absolutely right there.
Okay. What's
Yeah, no,
going
you're
on, babe?
good, babe. Nothing.
Okay. There are no formal application or acceptance processes for life coaching certification programs. You basically complete your program of choice, which will likely cost you around $1,000 to $3,000. Well, if you pay that much, you're getting ripped off, according to NerdWallet, and it's
Yeah,
a scam. They're just making money off of you. And launch your life coaching
see it.
career. Or you could save your money, since the website points out you don't even technically need a certification to become a life coach. One more time. Or you could save your money, since as the website points out, you don't even technically need a certification to become a life coach. Big round of applause. That's it. I mean, that says it all.
Drop the mic.
Mic drop. Okay. According to an ICF study, 74% of all coach practitioners reported they had a credential or certification from a professional coaching organization in 2019. Well, 74% of however many people you interviewed, but I think that number is skewed. Look, some of the best life coaches out there don't have a psychology degree and don't have any certification. They have life experience. It's an unregulated industry. If they decide to ever regulate it, then we will be required to go through a very formal program where life coaching will be standardized. But if you try to standardize life coaching, then people won't want to do it because then they're not going to be able to be themselves and lead by example, which I feel is the best way to coach people. Baby, thoughts real quick.
Oh, I agree.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm working.
Baby, what I need you to do is stay focused on the show. What are you doing?
I know, but I'm also working.
Okay, baby,
I'm also moderating the channel.
I don't need you to moderate the show. I have the show moderate. I need you to focus on the show and not pay attention to anything else. I asked you that politely one time. Please stop focusing on anything but the show.
I know, but I'm just deleting these messages really quick.
Well, I'm doing it myself. I need you to focus on the show and on the screen, please. Baby, let me tell you something. If you don't learn to ignore this shit, you're going to get swallowed whole on this platform. I've told you that many times. I've got it covered. Baby, you are giving these people exactly what they want because you just can't stop. That's the problem. You just can't stop. I used to not be able to stop. I used to not be able to stop feeding into these stupid ass people. Right? I told you I've got the chat modded. I've got 45-second slow mode. Let them get a lick in and I'll ban them. Now we're making a spectacle that these people are going to jerk off to. Is that what you want? Or do you want to just run our show and focus on the people that care about our content? Choice is yours. Baby?
All I said is I was modding the channel, so just move on.
Okay, I've got the channel modded. Don't worry about it. Your answers have become very, very, very slow. Not slow, very, very minimal because you're not paying attention. And that is not bringing value to the show or the business.
I have you on mute.
Well, your answers have been very, very short because you're more focused on trolls than the show. And I want you to be focused on the show. Okay?
That is not correct. That's not correct. My answers have been short. You've cut me off. So I'm just agreeing with you.
No, that's not the case. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. But let's continue. Directly stated, life coaches do not have to meet the educational licensure and continuing education requirements that psychologists must, Nealon says. Anyone can claim to be a life coach and accepts clients. Right. And it's up to people if they want to use our services or not. That's why we put out videos. If you like who we are, our style, and you love our experience and you learned from it and you need a little more hand holding, we can help you with that. That's why I put out videos all the time. It gives people an idea of who I am and how I can help people, right? That's the way to do it. The wild west of this industry also raises real concerns about life coaches, at least those who aren't also licensed therapists, harming their clients' mental health despite their best intentions. Joseph James explains that he makes the difference between coaching and therapy very clear and recommends clients see a therapist if a mental health issue arises. Indeed, life coach training programs emphasize that coaches need to tell their clients from the outset that any mental health issues they become aware of lie beyond the scope of their certification and practice, Nealon says. And I agree with that. I agree. This sounds like a therapist that's angry and bitter that they're losing business to life coaches because most of what people need nowadays doesn't fall within the realm of full of what a psychologist offers or can be done by a life coach. It sounds like a lot of these psychologists are very, very angry and bitter by this. Let me read this last part, baby, and I'll get your feedback. But given that it takes years of training for a therapist to be trained to assess and diagnose a mental health condition, Nealon says it is not clear how well a life coach can spot one. Well, here's the thing, okay? I don't need a degree, a certification. I don't need someone to tell me that when somebody is yelling at me constantly or attacking me, that they have some kind of emotional issue or something like that, okay? It's pretty obvious for any human being, whether they have a degree or not, to see someone's mental state. Now, does that mean we can legally and technically diagnose it? No, but we have a pretty good idea that this is someone we want to stay away from. For example, when I was single, I came across some women that were just really, really, really just over the top messed up, right? And I wanted nothing to do with them. And it was hard to have a conversation with them, right? Okay. So I identified that and I didn't give him a chance. I gave my lady a chance because she has a big heart and soul. And despite the fact that we have some spats every now and then, and sometimes they happen online, the majority of the time, baby, what happens? We get along and we're happy and we're having fun, right? And the fact that we can disagree is great because at least we know we're being real with each other, right? What are your thoughts about that, babe, before we wrap this up? You gonna unmute?
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to unmute. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Yeah, we have a really good symbiotic relationship there. Um, we do have our little spats, but we come together really well. And our
Right.
spats are more because, like, I think our spats are because we're over talking each other, and it's literally we're fighting each other over the same issue.
Yeah, I'm back to
I'm
full
like,
screen, by the way.
well, that's what I wanted to say. Like, that's what I wanted to say, you know?
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
that's what usually it comes to.
yeah. I think
So,
I think what's happening, baby, is you and I are very much alike. Um, even though you've been a nurse and that's your purpose, and you love helping people, and I love the same thing. I think that we both have so much to say, and we really just want to pour so much into it, and we're so excited to let things out the moment we feel it. That a lot of times when we feel something at the same time, we overtalk each other, and then
well, you know
you
what the
know
great thing about, the great thing about you and I is you're a life coach. I'm a nurse. I have that therapy and psychology background, and you have the life coaching, and we can help people. I don't have an active license, but I have the references to give people to get the
right,
help that they need if they need medication.
right,
So
right,
we could really, really help people.
right. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, babe. We are at 2 hours and 39 minutes, almost 2 hours and 40 minutes. We went a bit over. Um, we're going to start to wrap this up. Anything else you want to mention before we go off the air here, baby? It was a great show. I'm going to share the links to the blogs in the description. So when you folks come back on the replay, or if you want to come back on the replay, if you're here live, or if you're watching on the replay, they will already be in the description section towards the top. But anything else you want to mention, babe, before we go off the air?
No, baby, this is a great subject. I mean, there's a lot of controversy in it, that we can go back and forth on, but yeah, no, it was a great topic to talk about. And I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, no, I really did too. And, again, what I really love about my lady and I doing these shows, especially on these heated and highly controversial type of topics like this one, is we're going to have our moments. And you folks get to see how we handle things in real time. And there's no other coach out here on YouTube that I know that's actually doing live streams with his girlfriend. And you get to see how we interact in real time, baby. You tell me, how valuable would that be for you if you are an outsider viewing
Oh,
this stream? How valuable would that be for you?
oh yeah, totally. Like you just see how a normal couple like interacts and how they like, yeah, you have a little spiff and how they bounce back and they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Right.
how that can happen,
Right.
and you just see that and it's wonderful to see.
Right. Right. All right, baby. I'm going to put you backstage. I'm going to shut this down, and I'll be calling you in about 15 minutes or so for a quick call because I know we've got our day tomorrow, baby. All right?
Yes, sounds beautiful, love.
All right, baby. Love you. Thank you so much. Thank you for, dealing with me. I know I'm
love
not.
you.
I love you, baby. I'm not the easiest person to deal with. Don't get me wrong, folks. I'm easygoing, but I'm straight up. I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to charge you any more money than necessary to help you get the answer. And in order to do that, I got to get to the point and give it to you straight and truly help you. So sometimes that tough love can really, really, really trigger people unintentionally. And if I did that to you tonight, baby, I apologize, but my intentions were pure.
Oh,
All right,
you're
babe?
good, sweetheart. You're good. Love ya.
All right. Love you too, babe. All right. Bye, babe.
Bye.
All right. All right. That was my lady. We're going to wrap it up, folks. We're at 2 hours and 42 minutes. Thank you to everyone for being here tonight. Hope you all enjoyed the show. More content is coming soon to both of my channels. This one here, Coach Eli 2, Uncensored Live Streams, and also my main channel. If you haven't subscribed to my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, we just hit over 7K subscribers the other day. Thank you to everyone for that. Nightbot's been sharing the link every 7 minutes, or just go to youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. That's youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. For the time being, until this channel gets monetized, my Walking with Purpose live streams will remain on my main channel. I may try to get a walking stream in tomorrow or sometime over the weekend. If not, those will be back on Monday. And those have become members-only chats. So if you want to chat for a minimum of $2.99 per month, you can chat in the members-only chat over there. And once this channel gets monetized, these streams will be going to members-only chat as well, and the Walking with Purpose streams will move to this channel here, and the main channel will focus on pre-recorded content. With that being said, have yourselves a great night. Take care, and as always, be good to each other. Whoops. Did I screw up? I did. There we go.